That would have been a bit cute.
That's what we wanted.
Good boy, well done.
In today's video, we're going to be hanging out with Jay, who's going to share with us the story of her Subaru Liberty wagon, how it's helped her get through some of the hard times she's been through.
I find that the car is my escape. It's like my therapy. If I'm having a bad day or too much going on in my head, I just jump in the car, go for a drive. Don't necessarily have anywhere to go. I just drive, the music going, sort of block everything else out. Having Archie as well helps as well because he's my other coping mechanism. Having my two favourite things in the whole world with me. In that moment, nothing else really matters. It makes everything else go away, blurs everything else out. It's not just a car for me, it's my life. I haven't always been a car person, but I grew up around it with my dad, things like that. And I got my first Subaru, had it for 7 years, and that car is probably the reason I'm into cars so much today. It's so much so I've got a tattoo of it on my arm.
Oh, that's sick.
So it's always with me. And then I have a t-shirt with the outline of it. For a couple of years I really wanted Liberty GTs. I thought everyone sort of had WRXs and stuff and Foresters, and I didn't want to follow in suit. I didn't want to be like everybody else. Still wanting the turbo sort of life. When this popped up, I kind of jumped at it, fell in love with it straight away, picked her up, but it didn't start out the best. Sadly got sold to me with a big end bearing knock in it, so I had to source a second-hand motor, which wasn't easy. It was the one I got in it at the moment, had 168,000 Ks on it. Was the only motor for this in Australia. I had to wait a couple of weeks for it to get here, but it was worth it once it got here, and that went straight in. And I don't think that motor's been through a lot, which was good. It doesn't use oil at all, doesn't go through coolant. I think I scored a really good one, so I was really lucky there. I'm running all right until a month ago. It wasn't boosting properly, surging a bit. They think that it was because the wastegate spring in it wasn't strong enough, so we got a new one put in it. I had a bit of a lazy VVT. Solenoids got pulled out and cleaned up, and then she was good to go. They went to take her for a test drive, dumped oil in the coolant, so that was just what I wanted. We obviously thought it was head gasket. Later figured out that the head gaskets were actually fine, but they did discover that the old head bolts on one side were rather loose. Now she's got new head gaskets in her, ARP head studs, so hopefully I don't have to worry about any head gasket issues for a long time. They thought that there was a crack in the head because it looked like it was still mixing. Figured out that it wasn't the case, and it looked like the turbo was just dumping oil out, and there was a bit of sludge sort of left over that they thought that it was mixing again, so it got flushed out heaps of times and all clean and good to go. She's definitely got some oomph in it. Can't complain there, that's for sure. Definitely surprises you considering it's automatic as well. Sounds pretty mean too. See where she takes me. Very happy with it. I've taken it camping and everything's awesome. You can sleep in it. Once you put the back seats down, you can lay in it and put a mattress in there, and yeah. I've got big plans for it. I like to wrap it for a start. I don't really want it to stay white. Can't decide whether I want gloss or a matte because I like kind of both. I need to get her a bit pretty. Look good. Oh, I also need some gas struts for this. This will be going eventually. I'll be getting a proper cold air intake, proper pod filter. Turbos absolutely love that kind of stuff. Things like that though, I have to get the tune adjusted every time I mod it to something like that.
Loving the Go Fast Bits blow off valve.
Yes.
Good to see.
Yeah, she's a beauty. Said the best for my baby. BC coilovers, the golds.
Oh yeah, we can see the adjusters for them.
Yes. So yeah, no, they're not bad. It can be a bit of a rough ride, but you get zero body roll at all, so you can just send it around a corner and it just not move at all. Because I'm prone to sending them around corners. Sorry, not sorry. But it's an all-wheel drive, so it sticks really well. Handling these things are brilliant. So that's upgraded turbo as well. Difference with these is it's a twin scroll turbo. I don't know a lot about them, so I'm not sure if you guys know much about them, but they just work a bit differently, I guess, which also means that these can only run your standard equal length headers. So if you wanted to put unequal length headers in and get that proper Subaru rumble, you'd have to change the turbo as well. That's the only thing. But again, I like to be different, so I like the fact that it sounds different to all the other Subarus.
Can you show us what it sounds like?
Yeah.
You knew that was coming, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I was hoping it was coming, actually.
Oh, listen to that. Go on.
Sometimes I feel like I need a cold shower after hearing that. Can't complain. Very happy. Aren't we, boy? Yes. Archie's also #1 fan. He loves the car more than I do, don't you, mate?
Archie's loving life.
Oh, always. I did a whoops and coming out of my driveway, and I scratched the fence and it pulled all my paint off. Then took a chunk out of here, but you can't tell now because me and my dad sort of semi-fixed it, but you can tell that it has been done because it needs to be buffed to have the shine brought through.
Yeah.
If you touch it, you can feel the difference. Unless you get close up to it, you can't tell.
Yeah.
Here also...
I never would have noticed that.
No. Here also, you've got to sort of sand that down so it blends in because tape mark, but couldn't even tell that it was scratched. It went right through to the black plastic, so it took all the paint off it, took a chunk out of this, and you get, as I said, you can't tell. Took me and my dad 2 days, but
worth it.
Absolutely.
Going for drives with Archie, who's a happy puppy.
Well, this is weird, like, because it's got your sport shift down here, but then you can also change the gears on these on the steering wheel. You can change up and down with those. I actually went to use them once thinking that it was turning up the music. It did not do that. As I said, you can feel the bumpiness because she's as stiff as it goes in the coilovers.
Yep. I think we should go to some sort of a shop that sells drinks.
That we could do.
Hanging out for an energy drink, because I'm a caffeine fiend.
Yep. Oh, that's right. I dated one of them, remember?
Oh yeah, I remember Josh. I remember that guy, Josh.
That's good. We're still mates, so that's good.
Josh is a good egg.
He is a good egg.
I miss him dearly.
Yeah.
He's still alive.
Oh yeah. We'll just clear that up.
He's just moved away.
In case anyone was like, what's going on there? Like, how could you not have that?
Yeah.
How could you get sick of that?
Yeah, I don't think you could.
No, I don't think so.
Unless you were boring.
Unless you were boring.
Yeah.
You don't get that out of an electric car.
So what would you say to anyone else that's thinking about buying a car and doing things to it?
Can't just go into buying a car thinking that's going to be 100% all the time, because it's not. Buying a car comes with costs. Mechanically, you're going to have some issues. You've got to keep them serviced, registered. So it's not cheap to have one. If you feel like cars are in your blood, and I recommend it. It really helps you mentally and emotionally. It's a buzz, honestly. Driving's a buzz for me. It's not a chore. Once you get into it, you kind of fall in love with it. You're stuck with it, but I wouldn't change it for a thing.
No. Goodbye, Archie. If you guys think Archie's cute, then you have to subscribe. You'll see him again. Bye-bye, Archie. And there you have it. That was Jay's story. Shout out to Jay for hanging out with me for today and letting me ask us some hard questions. If you like this video, first thing you can do is subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll be the first to know when something new comes out. Catch you next time.